Hi, this is Michelle. So there have been a few questions on how to satin stitch on a candy cane, so I thought I would show you how to do that. So first, I cut the candy cane out, got all the ink from the outside. I had to trim a few places to make sure I got it all off. And then I did the first one for you here. I have one strand. I like to use 321 red. It's my favorite red. So on my small needle that comes with the kit, I have a piece that is 18 inches long. I pulled a little bit through the eye of the needle and then knotted the end. And satin stitch is worked the shortest distance. So on this, it will be top to bottom. And you want to cover up the ink lines. So I go just on the outside edge of this one, because when your candy cane is put together, stuffed, and then sewn together, you don't want that ink to show on the outside edge there. So I covered that up. And then I'm going all the way through because on candy canes, I think it makes it easier to go all the way through, and you get that spot there all covered, no pinching. So I'm going all the way through. I just think it looks better. And I do have one strand on here. I think the satin stitch looks better with one strand. And nice and even. So I'm coming up just underneath the ink line here. And then when I'm going up, I'm just going right over that ink line. And sometimes starting in the middle works better. So you start in the middle, you work one side, then you go back to the middle and work this other side. For bigger pieces, that seems to help. This one I just started way over at the edge, and I'm just going to work my way over. Especially doing circles. Circles, when you're satin stitching a circle, starting in the center and working way over makes the circle look a whole lot better. So I'm just going back and forth, covering up my ink lines as I go, I'm holding the felt, pretty tightly between my fingers because I don't want it to bunch up. I want my stitches to stay straight, right next to each other. And I just keep hitting the same spot on each side. Just below the ink line down here, and then just above up here. And my stitches are staying nice and flat, nice and even, not overlapping, they're not crooked. And I like to use 18-inch lengths just because I have less knotting and less twisting when I use the shorter lengths. And as you can see, one strand covers this really nicely. And I'll show you when I get to the edge here. Almost run out. So I'm getting close to the end, so I'm going to go back here and I'll just loop it through. Knot it. I've got another needle all ready here. One strand, 18 inches long. And I just keep going. It takes a while, but it's how you get a nice looking candy cane with satin stitched stripes. Okay, so I'm getting close to the edge here, and when you start to run out of felt at the edge, you kind of really have to be careful so it doesn't pinch and pull. So I'm not really pulling my floss really super tight. I'm just letting it lay on the top there. And I'm gonna go as close to the edge as I can go, still covering up the ink lines top and bottom. And I continue right over to the edge, and as you can see, you can kind of see my back side, how the stitches, they're kind of helping to cover up that white. Like down here, you can see where it continues all the way around. I do that on purpose, that way when I fold this candy cane and I stitch it closed, you won't see any white right there. You'll just see the red, because I'll be really careful when I stitch it up not to disturb my stitches over here. So I'll just carefully take my white that I'm going to stitch the candy cane up with, and one strand, tiny little whip stitch close together, and be careful not to pull these red stitches. So see there, I'm all the way to the edge and it's all covered. And you're not going to see that because, you know, this is going to be folded and stitched closed. But that is how you do your satin stitch stripes on your candy cane. There you go. Hope this helps.